I've pressed it. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Nova Project. It's our third day in a row for Spooky Day. Happy Halloween, by the way, even though we are recording this the day before, so it's really weird to say that. But I'm your host as ever, Purple joined once more by my wife, the Obsidian Nook / Pale ASMR. My god, I'm getting sick of saying it this week, but I have a week off. She's looking at Disney Dreamlight Valley stuff, so she doesn't give a fuck about what I'm doing.
Oh my god, like, I have to.
We don't usually do this 3 days in a row. But we're going to be doing reviews for most of the week, but not so one after the other. But we're doing this, we're capping off spooky season with, of course, A Nightmare on Elm Street, a film that I hold dearly for its campiness. Even though this one isn't as campy as the sequel, because the sequels do get very fucking weird.
I'm gonna say it's my first time seeing is it the original?
Yes, this is the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Not the shit remake that turns Freddy into a child molester. Because he's not. They never say he is in the originals, he's just a murderer. But yeah, this is her first time. It was really fucking confusing for her. I tried to just not tell her anything about the film. She's still confused, particularly by the ending, which is very confusing. But still, this film is a classic, whether you'd agree that this film is good or not.
It has some disgusting, I didn't like the bugs.
Yeah, the actual, that's because he kills. The reason why he disappears at the end of the film is because she isn't scared of him anymore. So I think the idea is that he plays off of their fears to really get off on it. I think so anyway. But yeah, there's a lot of bugs and disgusting stuff that Freddy does to himself. Even though in this film he is credited as Fred Krueger, not Freddy Krueger, despite the entire film saying his name is Freddy. But you'd be surprised to know that Freddy Krueger himself is actually not in this film that much. He shows up for the ending, of course. He shows up every now and then in the dreams, but because all the deaths in the real world happen as they do in the dreams, he doesn't actually show up for most of them. He's in the dream, like I said, but in the real world, it's just invisible. Which obviously plays into the plot, because they're like, well, someone killed them, but who is it? We can't see him. But yeah, this is, as I mentioned before, the sequels went a bit weird with it. This is a film that definitely is more horror when the sequels turn into a bit more of a black comedy or just go fucking batshit at times. But yeah, another thing I wanted to mention, other than Robert Englund, who plays Freddy, and Heather Langenkamp, who plays we just watched the film and I blanked. Nancy, that's the one. Johnny Depp makes his first ever film appearance in this.
I didn't even know it was him. You had to point out, and then you were like, "What was it you said?"
Without saying, I was like, who was involved in a big trial between a man and a woman?
And still like.
It's weird. You went Donald Trump, I think, at one point, and I was like, because I was like, my dog stepped on a bee. Oh man, the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial was a mess. But yeah, Johnny Depp, young Johnny Depp, unrecognisable to how he looks now. I mean, of course, this film is 40 years old this year. I don't think we're doing this to the date. I would be impressed if we unintentionally planned that. But yeah, 1984 this film came out, so 40 whole years ago, which is mad. God, when's the release date? November 9th. Okay, we were almost dead on 40 years. That's disappointing. But yeah, we didn't do it on the 9th, mainly because we didn't know that's when the film came out. But we wanted to make sure that the Halloween review was actually like a mainline horror. We'll go back to the campy stuff as we move away from Halloween time of year. We'll go back to silly films. We'll go back to non-horror. But yeah, practical effects in this are really good as well. Like Freddy's makeup, despite being mostly like in the dark, still looks really good. The practical stuff with all the bugs, as we mentioned, was pretty grim. the blood, like the deaths were pretty solid as well. It's difficult to pick who gets the worst death in this one, I think. I think I might know. I might know. We'll talk about it in a minute. But yeah, especially Johnny Depp's character's death, Glenn, being pulled into the bed and then erupting into a geyser of blood. Definitely best kill, I think.
It's just, I don't know, the deaths just are weird.
You said it's just not unrealistic. It's like, wow, a guy who kills people in their dreams is unrealistic? You don't say! Oh.
I'm struggling. I still don't get it.
Yeah, it is a bit weird to get your head around. And you think the deaths are unrealistic in this. There's a guy who gets turned into a paper version of himself and then sliced into pieces in one of the sequels. It gets very strange. We may cover them one day, but I do not have them on DVD. This film was very strange, and it's unsurprising considering it's by Wes Craven, who did Scream, may I add, which he even played a version of Freddy Krueger in Scream, the janitor. And that was how long? 17 years later? I want to say 1991. I don't know. I can't remember. But still, this was before then, so considering he's done 2 mainline horror series, it's impressive, really. Oh god, yeah, he did Freddy vs. Jason. That sucked. But yeah, still, it's a good film. Did you like it, despite it being weird?
It's something I would watch again with you. But I'm just confused. Like it's a bit like maths. It's not clicking. So I'm just very like I don't really know what to say because I just don't get the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And
It
I
is a
don't.
film
It
that can
doesn't
be a bit
matter how
weird.
you try to explain it to my brain.
I don't know if that's to do with autism. Possibly, possibly not. I don't know.
I don't see it as a negative, but I'm just a bit baffled and a bit like.
I think you're too used to.
Confused.com, that's what I am.
I think you're too used to quote realistic films, because obviously
Yeah,
with
but I have read really weird scenes where I've like for example, if any of you read young YA fantasy book, the Julie Kagawa, something like that books where they were like
Kagawa, I don't know, something.
where they basically set in like a setting and they had like these it was described as like metal beetles and I just couldn't imagine it. Like my brain just won't get it and it just can't make a picture in my head. So I ended up getting rid of them because I donated them. I didn't chuck them in the bin or anything. But
We believe in donation if we can,
um,
as opposed to just
but
getting
yeah,
rid of stuff.
a lot of books and the authors have written like different monsters or stuff and described them, and my brain just imagine it. It just
You just can't help yourself but talk about books whenever we cover.
just can't
Gee, babe,
understand why I'm
it's almost as if like you have a whole channel basically dedicated to books and video games. But I think you don't understand it fully because this is your first sort of like experience with a killer who kills in dreams. Because it's a lot of like in the brain, like the dream itself, and then the real world. And there is a few moments where it's
I'm
difficult to
wondering-
determine which is which.
I'm wondering.
Not picking up. Say again.
I'm wondering if it's one of those films where you have to watch more
Possibly.
in order to get it.
Yeah, maybe. Would surprise me. Yeah, and you only just drew the connection between my tattoo and the film. I need more horror-themed tattoos. I don't know what to do though, because Freddy's an easy one to do.
Myers.
Michael Myers, yeah, could do the pumpkin that you still didn't understand looked like Michael Myers.
Scream. Yeah, but that's because I'm really short-sighted, and that generally pumpkin that I couldn't. That everyone else kept pointing out.
Yeah, I think someone would have had to get it in like black and
I
white.
could see the eye.
Yeah, it's just the eye you were struggling with. You couldn't discern it as Michael. Yeah. I don't know what it was, but anyway, we covered the 2018 Halloween. If you want to watch that, that video is out now. Thought I would plug that there for you. But yeah, with this film, we are nearly there with the classic killers from like pop culture. We've done Ghostface, we've done Jason, we've done Freddy. We've got Chucky at some point in the future, and we've got Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw.
I mean, all I can say about the film is that it's very campy or question.
Most of the 80s. I mean, come on.
A lot of people with curly hair.
That was the hairstyle. It was like the perm-ish.
And I have it free.
Oh, Stasi has dropped in to say hello again. He didn't even watch the film with us, so he was busy up here snoozing, probably. Okay, he wants a cuddle. But yeah, this film is iconic. I mean, finally, it's something different. Considering the 80s, I mean, Halloween came out not too long before 78. Yeah, 78, because 2018 was the 40 years of that. But yeah, Halloween wasn't too long before that. Friday the 13th, I think, was around 1980. So people were used to killers, which were basically human beings. So like you had your Halloween, you had Michael Myers in Halloween. You had obviously Jason, who was borderline supernatural. That is a very campy 80s film, the original Friday the 13th. It's very weird. But yeah, we met. Oh, he's making biscuits, bless him. It's difficult with these films because we have to track down copies of the like sequels that nobody likes as well. And box sets are just an eye-watering amount of money.
Well, especially box set, it was very, because I remember trying to get hold. That was very hard work.
Yeah.
Like, she literally managed to find someone on Facebook Marketplace in the same, like, city in order to get it, but trying to buy it from, like, CEX, HMV, the TV shop, they didn't have it. It was just unavailable.
It's weird, isn't it? I don't know if it's because of popularity or for whatever reason. But I think, didn't you say your mum just had loads of different copies of the different films rather than a box set of Halloween?
Yeah, she
So obviously we have them all now for certain.
because of the she DVDs.
Oh, DVDs, yeah, that's the one.
Especially like if any of you go into Asda, you know they've got that like section of like £1 or £2.
Oh yeah, it has the cheap DVDs and charity shops. Well, I should know, but charity shops.
She bought a lot, and a hell of a lot of them was after she'd passed, and it was like I have no idea what this is about. A lot of romance comedies as well, which obviously I hate.
Rom-com makes me want to blow my brains out.
It's
like we are not. That's why we haven't covered a rom-com yet, is because they bore me to fucking death.
It's really awkward to watch a scene when you're in the same room as someone else. It is so difficult.
Yeah. But yeah, so just Chucky and Leatherface were missing. We'll get around to them possibly one day. Final Destination. Yeah, but I'm thinking the mainline killers as opposed to like the main. There are so many series we haven't done where it's like they are iconic.
There is one that you I think it's Saw when he comes out on his trial.
Oh, Billy the Puppet. Yeah, but he's not a killer. We ain't doing Saw. If we do Saw, if there's ever a demand for us to do Saw, I will do it on my own because it is pretty nasty. Plus, there's 10 of them.
Please don't be a possible.
Yeah. Extreme gore. I mean, we've got Terrifier. You probably won't do that. That's brutal. I'm fucked. I don't know. There's films that we may not do for the sake of like not throwing up repeatedly for the night. But we'll.
I might try to watch it, but if I get too much, I'll be like,
Yeah. But hopefully we'll do that at one point. We need to find a copy of the first one. We have the second, and the third one obviously came out not that long ago.
it came in the cinema recently. They literally gave you promotional sick bag.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. It's because it's like going off of the people are literally being sick in the like cinema and stuff. I don't. Anyway, we're going on a side tangent that has nothing to do with the film anymore. If you haven't seen this film somehow, I don't know why. Like it's one of the iconic horror films of its time. And my God, let's not talk about the remake. We may get there in the future if we find it for free. I ain't paying money for that piece of shit. It's probably on Netflix or something like that, but still, that's paying money for it. Anyway, that about does it. I hope you've had a wonderful Halloween. Even though this film is going to come out at like midday in the UK tomorrow for us. Midday Halloween, even though we're filming this on the 30th, so have a happy Halloween from my family to you. I don't know why it sounds like Christmas. It sounds like we're going happy holidays from my family to yours. The Queen's speech, yeah. Anyway, happy Halloween, everyone. I've been your host, as ever, Puppermint, joined once more by the Obsidian Nook / Petal ASMR. One of our other cats, Tiny, has just made her presence known. I don't think we've really talked about her before. She just appears every now and then. She's like the cat version of Morgan, where he shows up when he wants to, but he's always present. But yeah, you can find her links, as in Amelia's, my wife, Eel. I hate saying your name, and you hate it when I do it. You can find her links in the description alongside all of mine. And we will see you not tomorrow. We will see you at some point in the future. The cat is begging me for a cuddle. Soon. We're going to get a lot done. We've got some good ones for you. Anyway, toodles.